Good afternoon from my end, Liberia. I'm Pastor Jerod speaking to you again once more. Today is July 15, 2025. We continue our monthly theme that says Jesus is God. So I'm going to point the camera carefully and we're going to examine the writing on the bowl. We're going to look at the foundational statement for these things writing on the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you again. Thank you ever so much. I'm sorry for the poor quality of my voice and for the background noise. And also sorry that I'm pointing the device to the black bowl. So we're going to be doing black bowl teaching. Today we're going to start with the text, specifically John chapter 14 verse 1. And there are a lot of people still in situations that getting them very confused about whether Jesus is God. And because of that, there came forth many religions today in the world. Many people get themselves confused. You look at John chapter 14 verse 1. Where he says, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." Now, Jesus confirmed in this text that he is the proper weapon, being light in eternity before the very creations of the office of God himself, both in his glory and in eternity. It also confirms and revealed that angels were created in the office of God, which we call heaven today. But if this a weapon called Jesus, which only God could fit within, it is like when you apply for the job. You go through training. If you are qualified, you go through training, and they have to take you sometime 3 days and 1 week or a day workshop, so that they can brush you up to know what you're gonna do. So the angels are celestial host, for the purpose of God to be made manifest and His will to be made manifest through Jesus. But Jesus was created in the glory and in the realm called the eternity. I told you from the onset of the text that eternity is greater than heaven. Heaven is an office created in eternity. So God, Jesus, a guy was trying to come down on the face of the earth, and I told you about text. But God tried in Exodus 19, verse 1 all the way to 16, and then Moses told the people to take bath. God gave an instruction, 3 days they should come to Mount Sinai, and Moses should draw the line down, and that the people would not dare try to put their foot there. God came down with the 3 offices that are Paul, by privilege, reviewed in 2 Timothy chapter 1:7. For the Lord God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but love, power, and sound mind. That was the 3 offices that were coming down on Mount Sinai, but the children of Israel neglected Jesus, God. And they told Moses, "Moses, say to your God that we believe there is a God, that you go and visit on Mount Sinai." So what do you think in the second verse, that John chapter 14 verse 2, we're going to read it. "In my Father's house," Jesus speaking, "in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I could have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." Now that's a clear thing that many Christians today thinking as to whether we will go to heaven. Heaven is the office of God. Heaven, something is more greater than heaven. The eternity is greater than heaven itself. And glory is greater than eternity. Both of them are God nature. Let's get that clear. Heaven is just a small little place that God himself is nature himself greater than. I want you to understand that. God is the nature of eternity and glory. What do you think that John was privileged to see the revelations? He said, "I saw the new Jerusalem, new earth coming down on the face of the earth. This earth and heaven will pass away, but God's word would never drop on the ground." Now, the Bible describes Jesus when we shall all wrapped into the glorious body given to us called the righteous. We will ascend to heaven. Okay, it's fine. And we will be in the clouds with the King himself sitting on his house. But what do you think that Jesus is in my Father's house? There are many mansions. If it were not so, I could have said it. He said, "I will go and I will prepare a place. Jesus did not say, I will prepare heaven for you. But Jesus said, I will prepare a place. In my Father's house, I get the clarity. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not so, I wouldn't say so. I go and I will prepare a place. I want you to look at the statement in John chapter 14, verse 2. A place. What do we think in our mind that God is actually talking about? What kind of place God is talking about? John was privileged to see the revelations, even though he didn't explain in depth. A new Jerusalem coming down on the face of the earth. And God said he will wipe heaven, he will wipe present earth and present heaven. And know that people ask themselves questions. If God did that, where will God be dwelling? You know, God is greater than heaven. As I said, heaven is an office created in eternity, and eternity and glory is God's nature itself. So let's understand that. So now, where do you think we will go? God will prepare a new place, a new Jerusalem on the face of the earth, a new earth that they host the saints, the righteous people who righteous on the face of the earth will be placed in that area, because Jesus says, I go to my Father. If it were not so, I wouldn't say to you, but I go and I prepare a place for you. Now, the place that Jesus was talking about after winning the victories and conquering the works of the devil and his entourage, he was talking about this place that he will create. Now, the Bible describes Jesus' face shining as a sun. There will be no sun, there will be no everything, no pain, nothing. Everything will be at peace and we will enjoy it. Where do you think we will enjoy it? We will not enjoy heaven. Because heaven is the throne of God, where God sits. That place, that office is only prepared for God and his entourage, the workers. Can you have United Nations, their office somewhere? Maybe it can be in America, it can be in Sweden. And do you think that if United Nations is sending their host, their entourage to come and set peace into the nations that fought in war, do you think that when they're taking people, they will bring the people back to the office of the United Nations? No. They will prepare a place that rescuing their citizens or rescuing the people, as Ukraine and Russia did their war. When our United Nations was sending peacekeeping through there, they were not taking them back to the office of the United Nations. They prepared a place that they would be there as a refugee. Then God said his face will shine like a sun. You will not see God again, but you will see God through Jesus. That's why Jesus said,